Hi, my name is Marin with Healthy Approach, and I have for you a yoga routine for sports injuries. If you're currently injured, please make sure you check with your healthcare provider or physical therapist to make sure that this yoga routine is okay and safe for you to do. When it comes to reducing risk for sports injuries, yoga is a great practice to incorporate to make sure you reduce the risk and increase your efficiency in any sport that you're playing. So these are some great yoga stretches that you can incorporate into a routine to help you do that. And they're going to be things that are going to target mainly the certain muscles that people who are in sports actively use. So one of the things that I really love doing is just making sure that we warm up doing whole body stretches. So we're just going to inhale, big breaths in through the belly, exhale through the mouth. Really make sure you breathe in deep. The deep breath is going to massage those organs. It's going to massage your spine. It's going to oxygenate the blood, helping you have more efficiency and effectiveness through each stretch and find relaxation. Make sure you breathe in really deep. Relaxation is huge when it comes to improving that circulation and increasing flexibility. Stretch up nice and high. We're going to exhale as we reach over to the side, just like a nice big side stretch. If you feel like it, you can go ahead and clasp your hands together, pushing your hips out to the side and gently looking up. This is going to be a more dynamic stretch. It's going to take more of your core strength as you stretch, but if you're looking for just deep relaxation and flexibility, go ahead and stretch up and out to the side. Whatever you feel like is most comfortable. We're gonna spend 6 deep breaths in each pose. You're gonna exhale as you come up before switching sides. You don't have to go out to the side so crazy far. Just go out where you feel that tension and where you can hold it. Continuing to breathe deeply. Exhale coming up after completing 6 deep breaths. And then we're gonna go ahead and push our hips forward. Nice back compression. Nice ab stretch. Root your feet firmly into the ground. Exhale coming up. Remember, 6 deep breaths in each pose. When you get here, we're going to focus on forward bend, So you're just gonna keep your hands there on the lower back and then rotate your hips bending forward. Breathing really deep, flatten out, nice half bend here, supported forward bend. 6 deep breaths here before releasing and bringing the belly button to the tops of the thighs. So important to think about your belly button getting to the tops of your thighs rather than the forehead to the knees. This is going to breed good posture pulling from that belly, keeping those shoulders back. Forward bend is not a flexibility competition. It's about finding this place and space that is challenging yet comfortable for you. It's going to give you a good stretch. When you get here, we're going into opening up our hips, nice lunge. You can stay on your toes or rest your feet down. Focus on really bringing those hips into the ground. We're opening up the hips. This is really important. Hips are very important when it comes to sports. So open up those hips for 6 deep breaths before stepping back into a full body stretch in downward dog. Nice, rock into the plank, back to downward dog. Go at your pace, find what's comfortable for you. Nice, 6 deep breaths here, and we're going to lift up and bring the opposite leg into that nice low lunge. 6 deep breaths here also. As you can see, a routine like this is building that core strength. We're gonna walk back up. You can do another forward bend here for another 6 deep breaths before inhaling and exhaling. That is a good warm-up, and that's all it was just a warm-up. So you can see how doing yoga in this manner is really good for increasing your core strength and your stability, but it's also giving you good breathing, good circulation, and good stretching. So this particular flow is something that I really like incorporating into all of my yoga routines before I even start whatever routine I'm doing, starting out with nice bends and then into low lunges and downward dogs. Great whole body warm up. We want to warm up that whole body. So now that we've warmed up the whole body, we can start incorporating some actual poses that's going to help you with your sports injuries. So one of the things that I really like doing is just getting my shins and forearms. Shins, calves, and forearms. The downward dog is a really great place for the calves, but one of the things I like doing is just bending my toe. You can either bring it back behind you like this and push your toe into the ground, and you should feel it get the inner side of your shin. And we're just gonna hold that. This is more of a stretch than anything. Hold it for 6 deep breaths, and when you're done, stand like this forward and then bring your 3 little toes out to the side, and that's gonna get your outer shin now. Nice stretch over those 3 little toes. 6 deep breaths. Shins are huge. You wanna avoid shin splints, you wanna avoid brittle shins. We wanna make sure that the muscles around the shins that are supporting them are pliable, flexible, and are getting a lot of circulation going through there. So make sure that you stretch these shins. Over the big toe, nice and deep, then over the little toes, off to the side. Now, one of the things that I really like doing is sitting down. We're gonna open these hips up more. You got your glutes under, your heels underneath your glutes, your knees are splayed out. You're gonna rock those hips back, sit down into it. So this is not a child's pose where we just sit down. You really wanna make sure you're rocking those hips back, sitting back into it, pushing your glutes into that pose. While you're sitting here, let's focus on getting our wrists. So all we're gonna do is turn our wrists around. They don't have to touch the ground all the way. We're gonna sit into this pose, opening up the hips. You should feel it right in the hips. And go ahead and rotate those wrists down as you do this. We're getting the inside of our forearms. Breathe nice and deeply into this. Very good. Now we're gonna rotate. Hands down this time. The tops of our hands are down. We're getting the tops of our forearms now. Really good for your wrists and all these muscles that are connected to your wrists and your hands. We want to make sure these are in top-notch condition when we're putting a lot of stress on them playing sports. Nice deep breaths. Relax. Come into tabletop position. Nice little cat-cow poses. We got cow, cat. You're gonna hold each pose. You're gonna push this out, arch that back. Hold each pose. Deep breath, 6 deep breaths, inhale. Cow. You can incorporate some of the back and forth with each inhalation and exhalation, but I do wanna make sure that we're holding each breath for at least 6 breaths. Really good. And when you get here, go ahead and pop into a downward dog for 6 more deep breaths. You cannot get enough downward dogs. After that, let's go into a plank. Gently put your feet at the top and lower your hips down into upward dog. Massage your way into the stretch. You should feel it in your hips now that you've opened them up. It should feel really nice and good right there in the front of your hips. And then come back up to tabletop, extend your legs, walk back up to forward bend. Hold this forward bend for 6 more deep breaths. And then we're gonna come up. Nice big inhale. Exhale, bringing those palms, pressing them together in front of your heart center. And we're gonna go ahead and come up to tree pose. If you feel like it, you can lift it and feel free to bring one hand to the side. If you need to balance, balance. I want you to open up that tree pose as you stand here. Find some balance. Look out in front of you. What we're doing with this tree pose is stabilizing the core. We're increasing the strength in the core, but we are also increasing the muscle strength of the little tendons that help you balance, the little tendons that support the larger muscles. That's what this tree pose is doing. When you're ready, you're gonna go ahead and bring your foot forward. I'm gonna turn to the side here so you can see. And go ahead and lift that foot, holding the bottom of the foot up. Try to extend your base leg. Don't lock out the knee all the way. Make it straight, but don't lock it out all the way. If you're having trouble in this pose, just stay right here. If you want to, you can start kicking your foot out. You're just kicking it straight out in front of you. If you feel the need to, you can grab just your calves and your ankles. Try to focus on standing up really straight there. You want to hold this for as long as you can. I like to say 30 seconds. We're increasing that blood flow. We're increasing that strength. And just hold this here before relaxing and bringing this back out. You want to try to do this as much as you can, as fluid as you can. Splay out those toes, root that leg. And it's okay if you feel like you have to set your foot down, readjust for a sec, and get right back into it. Find that spot out ahead of you. Go ahead and bring that foot, the top of the foot, into the hand. You're holding that hand palm facing out. You can do either way that feels comfortable. Personally, I like palm facing out. Bring that hand up and go ahead and start kicking back. You're gonna kick your leg back into your hand, splay that hand out, and find balance here into dancer pose. You really wanna make sure when you're doing this pose that your hips are not opening up like this. You want to keep your hips down. And you want to make sure you're in really good position. Hips down, straight legs, kicking that foot back, finding that pose. Try to hold this pose for 30 seconds before relaxing back down into it. Nice deep breath. After you find some relaxation in these deep breaths, go ahead and start again, bringing your foot into tree pose, this time on the other side. You're gonna go through this whole routine again, holding each pose for 30 seconds, or 6 deep breaths should be really good. Try to straighten that leg, straighten the spine. Really want you to focus on tension and really putting a lot of effort in trying to make this straight for yourself. Make it straight, keep that core tight. Focus on good posture. And be in your poses. When you're ready and you're done, find a comfortable place to sit, take some deep breaths. Reoxygenate that blood. Take a few minutes to relax and thank your body for all the work that it's done. And good luck with your sports. You should be feeling really good after an injury. You should be reducing the risk, increasing your strength and your core stability, and reducing the risk for future injury. My name is Marin with Healthy Approach. Thank you so much for watching this video.